initiate life. So all power and authority is delegated to us by the source of power.
Because he is the source of all power.
All power.
He's the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning and the end.
Preach it.
Yes, and even as you share that, I'm looking. I know you're going there.
Yes, man. You're looking at headlines.
Yes. And I'm just let's
walk with me.
Let's see where we are at now. So Isaiah 5:20 says, "Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them." We need to be so careful that we don't get our wires crossed. And I think what has happened in our country, even with some of the narratives that is just out there, it's just crazy. And God says, "Woe." When God says woe in us, Him say, draw breaks, because there is a judgment that is coming. And another thing, which hits. You remember I always go into Romans. Romans, Paul right into the Romans. And we need to be careful, because you speak about people not recognizing where their authority comes from.
Yeah.
Hear what Romans says. Because that when they knew God, they glorified Him not as God, neither were they thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, one of your favorite words. And their foolish heart was darkened, professing themselves to be wise. They became as fools. Romans 1:21 to 23. 22. You can continue. So when I see a headline like this, I'm saying to myself, have these people lost their minds?
But you teased my mind to go back to what the Lord says about the things He hates.
Yes. Oh, Jesus.
So I was just going to bring it up. In Proverbs. Is it 31? Anyway, and the reason why it's okay, in our realm, we have a structure in terms of understanding how laws are made. And I'd gone through it with you before. You have policy.
Yes, and when policy don't work, you put it into law.
Yes, it goes up to regulations to regulate behavior. And it goes up to the statute, the law. Okay. So God has set some laws. And in relation to those laws, He identifies His policy. So you understand why these laws are necessary. And then there are some regulations that regulate conduct
and behavior,
that tell you behaviorally what you do to give effect to the policy. And then there are His statutes, the thou shalt nots, the commandments. The command is there. So you get the plain command, thou shalt not kill. Then you get the regulations, live good with the neighbor, don't thief him, don't covet what him have next door, be honest in your dealings with the scales in the commercial marketplace, and so on and so forth. You know why? It's because He knows that if your behavior is of a certain sort, you're going to provoke a man into breaching the statute. Most of the times when we kill to take something from somebody or we kill because we've been insulted by certain behaviors, and we take the law into our own hands.
I mean, it's like we're telling the episode which that you guys found so far. They talk about being insulted.
There you go. And then in the book that we call the Bible, but really it is just a storehouse of the words of God spoken to man over time that have been recorded, but you can catch those words elsewhere. I'm answering a question that was posed yesterday that want to know if every Bible, there's one thing which we call the Bible. I mean, Bible is from it's from a Latin word which really refers to a storehouse of recorded information, the bibliothèque. So we say Bible.
I mean, bibliography.
And right. So a Bible, the word Bible has no special meaning in relation to the word of God. It's just one place in which you find it. But there are multiple places that you can go and find the words of God. So here are some things that I Pastor has very kindly identified it for me. So we talk about policy. What's the policy of God? And then the policy goes into regulations that regulate behavior, and there's a statute, which is the ultimate command, which tells you nothing about how to honor that. It will tell you the consequences. Maybe sometimes it has the two parts to it. But you have to move from the statute into the regulations to find, well, how do I live and make decisions so I don't breach that statute? And when you understand the policy underlying it, then it gives you a better idea on how to move. So here are some policy statements from the Lord.
Proverbs 6.
In Proverbs chapter 6.
16 to 19.
Yes. The Lord says, there are 6 things that he hates. He's just sharing his heart with you. He's not telling you to do or not to do. He's just saying, you want to be in a good relationship with me? I don't like these things. Just like when in your marriage or your relationship, you will say at some point, I'm allergic to shellfish. Please don't bring no shellfish to dinner or anything. Yes. Or you might say, I don't like to watch TV in the bedroom. So you know that you gotta decide if you're somebody who need to snuggle up and watch the latest episode of something. It's not gonna be in your bedroom. Or some people will say, there are different standards that they just say. They're not telling you, you must do this, you must do that. They're just letting you know from their heart, I don't like this. So our Father in heaven says, there are 6 things that I don't like. I hate them, in fact. In fact, if you add one more, they are detestable. Haughty eyes. This is the proud one who just can't seem to see what's going on the ground. You have to bring everything up to their level. The haughty eyes, that refers to the proud. A lying tongue. So when Pastor Percival, when you said those who say good is evil or bitter is sweet, whatever you spinning, the spin doctors.
Then they spin it again, spinning up.
Yes.
Like a gig.
You can't. We are confused. Our heads bouncing back and forth like we're watching a tennis match. Because the same thing in one man's hand is poison, in another man's hand it is. And it's the same thing, the same event. He does not like a lying tongue. The ones who take the truth and deliberately pervert it to their own agenda.
And they spin it and spin it out.
Him not like hands that shed innocent blood.
The murderer.
The ones who knowingly, and it's not just murder of the physical body, it is the destruction of people's ideas and businesses, because our spirit children can be murdered. You steal people's ideas, or you trample on it because you just don't want them to prosper. And those kinds of behaviors come from a heart that devises wicked schemes. The ones who sit down and say, well, if I put it over here, I know that this one can't reach it.
Like I know there's a scheme out there, a heart that sit down and devise. All right. Why we get caught still, we it, no. So let's devise something. Let's just use anything that come out there.
Let's mash up Parliament.
Yes, let's mash it up. Let's mash up Parliament. And people come out and you say, but shouldn't they know better?
Do you know this thing with the microphone in Parliament? What rests uneasily in my spirit is that we have the relationship in the House between the main actors in the House. The relationship is so poor that the members of the opposition could say somebody has devised the installation of an audio system that would be used to prevent us from speaking in the House. The only purpose there in the House is to speak on matters pertaining to their constituencies. They have no other business doing there. It's not a club, despite however others might want to use it.
Some people might think it's a club.
And we're in a state where this parliamentary opposition constitutionally devised and originated could really say, you guys over there choose some basic tool that is to be used for management of the affairs of the house, and you're conspiring to use it. That would be like saying you have chosen disinfectant to be used in the bathroom, to which certain persons are allergic, so that they can't come out and function. They're constantly sneezing. It's diabolical. A heart that devises wicked schemes. The Lord hates that. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. The moment you hear that something is going down, you are not getting on your knees to pray. You are not trying to bring peace. You are saying, come on, call out the dogs.
Yes, call out the dogs.
Write up the placards. Let's go out there and create mayhem and chaos. And while that is happening, other people are feeding their private agenda.
You understand call out the dogs? Or you remember the term he was dog whistling?
Dog whistling, yes. Feet that are quick to rush into evil. All of your solutions, all of your suggestions on how we're going to make this thing work involve destruction, involve taking away from those who are innocent. It don't involve anything good, evil. It is of the devil. And then the false witness who pours out lies, and a person who stirs up conflict in the community. This is gossiping. This is the one who walks from yard to yard with the bad message. This is the one who is sending everybody they know those text messages that have nothing good to it. It's not even verifiable, but you don't care. You just want to stir up conflict in your community. And if you notice, he deals with false witness, telling of lies. That's there twice. A lying tongue is hated by the Lord. A false witness who pours out lies, and the person who stirs up conflict in the community. 3 different personalities, all of them manipulating information to create havoc.
Call it misinformation.
So you hear in this is a policy statement. God is saying, I don't like these things. I don't like these things. And then elsewhere, he set some regulations. And he gives authority to man to set some regulations. And we've done that in this country to some extent. But all in all, we are following one major commandment. Thou shalt have no other God before me.
And you must love your neighbor as you love yourself.
I rest my case.
You're on a council? Yes. You rest your case.
Mercy, you haven't been to petty session yet to be a judge.
No.
As a JP, you must ask them to schedule you. You can do 1 or 2 bad word cussing cases. Maybe some liquor license. Let me ask you, as a man of God, if they schedule you to do liquor license, would you say as a matter of principle, I'm not available for that task? You never thought about it?
No, well, that goes back to when I just graduated from university, and I was one of the 6 persons then who did microbiology. And in Jamaica, I made a simple prayer. I said, I don't want to work, because we had to do field trips. We went to the distillery. We went to all the places that make alcohol. And I said, Lord, I don't want to work there. And it so happened I didn't work with the one that make the alcohol, because my history with alcohol. Right,
yes, as you said it
but I ended up working in it, but I was making commercial alcohol, the one that they put in the...
Okay.
So those things, I don't know presently, because the word of God doesn't say you must drink. It says you must do it in moderation.
Right.
So you question, how do you balance that?
So would you put a stipulation on the license to be used in moderation?
No, that
bring back this license here. Put the condition on
it. It in moderation, and when the man reach a certain, he said, no, I'm not selling you no more. Even though you have a bigger company.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That happened in Jamaica, and we love it.
Yes. but Percy, we're laughing about it. But the truth is, seriously, in some countries, the purveyors of alcoholic products are under certain obligations, because for example, they have to, some of them have to, when they recognize that somebody's past the limit, they have to intervene.
Okay.
Don't sell.
Don't sell that person.
or that a line of inquiry that you make to ensure the person is not going to drive or whatever.
Do you have somebody to take you home? Because I said, I see that in movies.
Yes.
You know,
But
designated
I'm just realizing that at the point where the license is issued is where you would introduce those regulations to regulate the behavior of the licensee, so that if, for example, there's an accident and the police test and see that the driver was drunk, an inquiry could be made as to where I come from, which bar. So you could go back, and the person who sold him all that liquor and was uncaring about him going into his vehicle would share in the liability for any damage resulting from the. Yes, you can do that.
Wow.
We have the authority. So you, as a justice of the peace, sitting in session to grant liquor licenses, you can say to your boss, the government of Jamaica, we need better regulations of those who are operating bars and places that sell alcohol. They must. And if there's someone leaving their place or wanting to leave who is not fit to drive, call the police. And the police have an obligation to take it seriously.
Take them home, carry them home, drive them home. But I find
Let me make a note. That's how laws change.
I find it fascinating too that with a lot of the alcoholic advertisements, there's a caveat, that's what you call it, that says
drink responsibly and you must be 18 or older. Yes. And they said very fast.
Yeah. So you wonder if it is taken, it makes sense. But anyway, but the point we have made in terms of woe and what God hates is a very significant one, even as we consider what's happening in our nation in terms of what is out there. In media, whether it is on social media, whether it's on free to air and television, we have to be so careful that we are not breaking what God has said. I don't like these things. I hate it. I find it detestable. Lying lips, haughty eyes, feet that run to do evil.
And the one that stir up conflict in the community.
Yeah. When we come back after our break,
time for a break already.
Don't go Mama D. Wonder why people don't want Mama D to go.
Press FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
It's Warren.
And Twyla.
And we're here with what you need to know this week. Wink. Boy, Twyla. Oh, the way that go on. I better we got with bed, you know.
You're more up know where you're coming right about now.
Really. Last week, lightning strike people in Lindsay on Tuesday. And then we get a 4.3 magnitude earthquake on Thursday. It coming like the weather I tried to make up for last time.
You see, right? Because the place was really hot for a long time, and then the sudden switch up to all these aggressive weather patterns. I kind of feel like the one artist where I try to show him still got it, you know, I'm like him well versatile and he can do this and that and mix it up everything and drop it just like that.
But truly what the three youngsters and the gentleman who were struck by lightning are doing okay. That must have been so crazy.
It had to be. But you know, it just shows that these things happen for a reason. Because just 2 weeks ago, representatives from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, you know that's ODPEM, they put out a story that they were going to be ramping up their sensitization about the hazards of lightning.
Yeah, they staged a forum called Lightning Talks, and their acting director general at ODPEM explained that in Jamaica, between between 2001 and 2021. Roughly 18 persons died from lightning impact, and probably another 36 persons were injured.
You know, with that in mind, ODPEM is going to start getting more information out there so people can know how to protect themselves. And then they're going to ask, how do you protect yourself from lightning? So I went ahead and looked up the tips so we can answer the questions. You know how it go. Number one, if you see a lot of lightning, find yourself indoors. That's your safest bet. Number two, if you're up high outside, get to the ground level as soon as possible because the lightning targets the highest areas first. And number three, if you're outside, don't shelter under isolated trees. And lastly, crouch low to the ground during lightning strikes and try to have as little of your body touching the ground as possible. So low, but not too low.
Whoa, somebody do the research.
You know how it is. You know how it is. And adjust the lightning bright to as she says, flipping her hair and blinking slowly.
Take winnings for today. Take winnings. But answer me this. How was last week's earthquake for you? I didn't feel it myself, but from what I saw on social media, people frightened and think it was the start of revelations.
Not to know, like I was out and I was in a building, right, with people, and the lady nearly run out of the place. I was calm, I'm not gonna lie, because I don't know, I have nerves of steel.
Alright, so let me test your earthquake preparedness awareness right
now.
Finish this phrase. Drop, cover, and
So, what word is so now? So the earthquake starts and it's like you start to bounce around. You lose your balance, so you end up on your drop, right? And then it's like you get afraid. So you want to open your eyes. You know what, earthquake, so you dive, and take cover, and one day it's going something. And then, you're under the table and it's a shake same way. While you take cover, you figure out you have to hold on to something and then you drop, cover, and hold.
You know some feelings are extra the birth certificate and not Twyla.
You were probably right.
You did well and know say a hold.
I love you, Mom.
But you carry go round the universe
all the way
to come back for one word. But you're right still.
It's a process. I mean, come on, man. We couldn't just let it so salt can't dry it up. So I have to add the spice for salt there.
Anyway, in other news, we also have to worry about dengue. The ministry officially declared an outbreak of the illness this week.
Yes, people. And as far as me concerned, all mosquitoes are now kill on sight. Destroyer, repellent, zapper, you name it, me bite, me have it.
We did a supermarket line right behind you with that one day.
Please.
Especially like how we're hearing that the strain of dengue that is here is especially infectious for the youngsters.
You know, the ministry is being proactive though, because, fogging, they've been doing that in my community, I can say it, and they've been encouraging people to destroy mosquito breeding sites and so on. But we have a responsibility. We have a part to play in this process. So, let's all play our part, people.
Check out the ministry's website for more info on dengue, symptoms, treatment, etc. And visit ODPEM's website for tips about earthquakes and lightning.
Now, that's it for week today, guys. If you've got comments, you can send us an email. The address, as usual, is radio@jis.gov.jm. You can connect with us on Twitter at JIS News.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at JIS Voice, and interact with us on Facebook at Jamaica Information Service. Until next time, I'm Warren.
And I'm Twyla, reminding you that knowledge is power, so stay in the know.
A production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They're clean and spacious. To always look after their customers. They'll come when you and take you where you want to go on time.
Specialized in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at East Williamsburg and London Park Road. Major Printer, your best choice for printing.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. God is good. Reverend Pastor and friend, Reverend Simon. My friends, this Tuesday evening on 7:30 for the program. Voice of God has been there blessed in this time. God is good.
Get healthy, my friends. Stay balanced. Tune into this station, Best FM 100, every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock to 9, for this wonderful program, Your Health Today, with me, Dr. Clarion Palmer. Yes, get healthy. Stay balanced. Best FM 100, Saturday morning, 8 o'clock, with me, Dr. P. Get out there.
Make an impact on your career. Earn real money. Get 3 to 4 local and international certification in practical nursing and early childhood education with free CXC or CAPE subjects in 6 to 12 months at Distinction College, located at 2600 Park Road, Kingston, 6 Nugent Street, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios. Earn global certificates in 3 months in geriatric nursing, phlebotomy, childcare. We have the lowest school fees around. Classes begin very soon. Call us 356-4167.
Hello. Pastor Hamilton here coming to you from New York City. This and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. This and every Saturday morning, right here on Best 100 FM. Don't you miss it?
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up show at Coach Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing work in our maturing years. Compellingly defined, educate, and liberate the younger generation. Tune in.
Goodness, mercy, it's me again, Lord, your restorer, your game changer. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Best FM 100. It's Apostle Clive Campbell, a.k.a. the Khaki Suit Man, coming to you from 8 to 12 Orange Street, also Richmond District, Mandeville. Embrace the change.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Lynette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM. It's good. It's better. But nothing big.
Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the Morning Connection of Best 100 FM. Net and Pastor Percival Palmer taking you through the first few hours of the day. And this morning we started off just reminding you that there is a context in which we occupy this earthly realm. And it's not just the political,
Which side you favor or who does a better job of leading things in the economy. It's within the context of persons operating under delegated authority from an external, bigger source whom we call Father. And there are some set laws of which we all need to be mindful. The leaders are bound by a set of laws. There are codes that apply to how leaders should carry out their duties. And there is a role in it for a priesthood, commonly known as the church. And there are some roles which are imposed on the priesthood, and the priesthood stands in an intercessory representative role where if the leadership on the political front fails to do what is needed for the nation, the priest must step in. Yesterday, we went through several examples of that being played out in ancient Israel. The reason why there is a recorded history of antiquity, how God relates to man, with one of the laws concerning God being that he's unchanging, which means what he did before, he will do again.
I love that.
We draw on it, and the reason we draw on it is because we don't want to get into debates about personalities and cultural context and, you know, political preferences. If I were to start giving you examples of what happens in modern day history, it might become a debate because some of you were alive and can give me your first-hand account and tell me that what I read in his history books or what I learned in social studies, that I know so it go. So we go with the ancient word that has survived years of hand-me-downs, and the principles have remained intact, meaning no matter how much it was debated at the time of its first publication, it was enough has survived to give you and I a context in which we can say there is God, and God has set some rules for man's
response and behavior and responsibility.
Absolutely.
To himself.
And those rules are credible rules which have survived. So, for example, we know there's seed time and harvest. Many of us would like to believe there's something else where things magical, where there's only harvest. But we know that is one rule. There is the law of reciprocity. I love that one. That's the one that says, with the same measure you give, it shall be given unto you.
Isn't that amazing?
I love that one. And it's just requires patience.
It speaks to an eye for an eye, yes.
Absolutely. So things are proportionate. Just mentioning one or two of the laws, there's the law of honor. The honor you give is the honor you get.
Wow.
And there are some nitty-gritty in the law of honor that says the son will never exceed the father. How could that ever be, a son exceeding a father, when father is source? You can't outstrip your father. Your father gives you what you have, so right away.
Amazing.
So there are some set laws, and when those laws are triggered, it runs its course. And if you enter into a situation and realize that the law is running its course, but the people who should do what should be done are not doing it, depending on what your assignment is, your job may be to step into the gap and hold things in tension. Yesterday we spoke about the watchman. Percy and I are watchmen. Our mission or assignment is to go up on the wall, look, see what is going on, call it out as it is happening. Not the good things in the car. Nobody needs to be told the good things. You're living it, you're enjoying it. But when we see danger, we have an obligation. It is a mission. And some of you are watchmen too, and you know yourselves. You're the ones who, you see something happening, even on the road, you say, look there, look there, look there. You want to shout. You want to call and say, beware, careful, stop. Watchmen. Watchmen are a set part of the architecture of this world, because it is not the will of God that any should perish. Now, if he don't want you to come to harm, then obviously he's going to be setting up some things to help, to nudge you back onto the right path. And so there are what?
His mercy.
Absolutely, because, you know, mercy and truth go before his face. So even before judgment is executed,
it's beckoning him going.
Absolutely. So if you know that you're a watchman, don't bite your lip and say, "No, my business," because he holds you accountable. And there will be a day of reckoning. Sometimes it happens as where you said, Jesus, I should have spoken. I should have. Don't be one of the I should have, because the the pain of that is worse than the punishment. When you know within yourself that you had an opportunity, you saw, and you could have done something to correct, to minimize. And if it failed, you would have said, well, I tried. They never pay me no mind. You did your best.
I mean, like Sunday with me on the episode.
and the madman who was not a madman.
He was not a madman, but it's interesting.
Something happened in court yesterday, Percy.
You went to court yesterday?
No, I heard on the news.
Okay.
What happened? The leader, the alleged leader of the gang, because remember that big gang trial is still going on,
Yeah, it's not in the news anymore.
Those who benefited from the no case submission and so on.
Same don't want any.
Percy, he went into Isaiah. He chose to speak for himself.
Are you serious?
Guess which scripture this alleged gang leader, who is probably many church leaders are called gang leaders, as also politicians.
Yeah, leader of the gang.
Yes, man. My man went into Isaiah and he said, the Lord said, come, let us reason together.
Are you serious?
Yes, he did. I tell you something. This is Andre Blackman.
Yes.
Is it Klansman?
Klansman leader.
Klansman. Alleged yet, it's yet to be established. My man suspend the order.
I say him defend
in the divine format, and went into Isaiah and said, the Lord said, come, let us reason together. Well, he wasn't allowed to. He obviously had some inspiration in a direction, but it was all over the place. And the Chief Justice said, well, listen, you seem to need some time. Let's let the lawyers do their bit first, and then we'll leave you for last. And then after the lawyers had done their bit, he offered the man 10 minutes. Well, that wasn't going to cut it. So Mr. Blackman said, put us for today. So it was adjourned to today, when he will continue to address the court. But I don't know if Mr. Blackman is listening to the Morning Connection in person. But do you remember, I was outlining what the Almighty God was doing. Court was in session. And he was halting the formality of the proceedings in order to carve out a space for man to repent, to come back in alignment. Mr. Blackman said to the judge, come. That's how we started. I don't know if it went any further than that, but you know that a lot of times it's when people are incarcerated, stripped of their freedom,
that's when that
they begin to understand
what it is,
purpose and God and what it all means. So it seemed like he had a revelation that there is a space in the formal court proceedings for a good judge, a merciful judge, to open a window for reasoning. And out of that comes justice and mercy. So
you found that interesting?
I found it very interesting.
But you see on the front page in the Klansman gang trial,
yes,
convicted pastor torn between love for church and lure of gang.
Oh, that sounds very dramatic. I saw we obviously have to share on that. But you were talking about what's happening in South Trelawney. What are your thoughts on it, sir? We laid the foundation. Leaders have a role, and these are the supporters who have come out asking
or not to go because she's
their MP not to stay put. It's a strange situation because unless they suspect that she has been forced to tender her resignation, and this is a message to the hand behind the scenes, it makes no sense. No. It makes no sense.
But if she's convicted of being corrupt, would this discredit her from being in Parliament? How does that work according to the law?
Felons are excluded from
court.
No, being in the House of Parliament.
What you call a felon, like a murder?
A convicted. But I don't know. This might be. It depends on what the charges are and what the conviction covers, because some of these charges they're statutory offenses because they're created specifically by a statute, and they're summary offenses, which means they are not felonies. But this may go deeper because there's a financial element to
that has happened.
That, yes, which is not fleshed out in anything that I've seen so far. I mean, no one is accusing her of robbing the coffers of the state. She's not been accused of anything. I've not seen the word fraud or anywhere, or misappropriation of funds, or so it depends on how it plays out at the end of the day.
Okay.
Right now, there's a recommendation for certain specific charges.
To be laid against her.
Yes, but the prosecutor is not constrained by the recommendation. They might use those or take some of that and create their own. Like they made up a whole new offense for the carousel directors.
They made up a whole
new offense. Conspiracy to break the common law. You have to be a lawyer to understand how impossible that is. Because the common law is the unwritten precedent-based law.
Right.
And the offense of breaching the Telecommunications Act is a statutory unnatural offense. It never existed before a statute said this is an offense.
Right.
So to have a common law conspiracy to breach a never heard of made up offense is an impossibility.
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes. Oh, yes, exactly so. That came up a few times, curiouser and curiouser. But the government made up that offense in order to arrest us, because you can't arrest people for summary statutory offenses. Those are based on what you call it, an information or a summons.
Okay.
That's what, they deliver a summons to your address and you're summoned to court.
To court.
Yes. But arrestable offenses are of a different character. And they're not usually the made up
thing. It's like the ones they know,
it's like fraud and murder
and rape and those things.
Yes.
So
but conspiracy, because you can conspire to murder, you can conspire to defraud, you can conspire to do any of those common law major offenses. To conspire, a conspiracy to commit a made-up statutory offense that would not occur normally.
It's really gone more.
Yeah, it's an impossibility. Yes, and it's not to be confused with, like, there are some statutes that come into effect to regulate financial conduct in banks and right. But at the base of those offenses, you have ordinary fraud. Most of us, we think stealing money require knocking somebody over the head and taking it out of their pocket.
No, say that for the time.
No, you can just hack into their bank account.
And that is fraud.
It's fraud. You may have tricked them out of their password and whatever, but at the end of the day, what you have is a theft of money. So that has its foundation in common law. So you can conspire to do that.
Okay.
But usually, if a statute is going to make up an offense, it also creates the other offenses around it, like conspiring to commit the statutory offense.
Okay.
You follow? Insider trading, for example. That never used to be an offense. People sitting on their verandas and saying, I'm going to do this in my business and that in my business. And you telling your friend, say, listen, buy up that stock because I hear from Pastor that he's going to do so and so. And that used to be called Sunday evening coffee.
Or rum bar talk.
Or rum bar talk. Or, snuggling with the mistress.
Okay.
Whatever it might be, when those confidences are exchanged. Yes. When those confidences are exchanged, it never used to be an offense. But then came a time when people realized, oh my goodness, if you allow the people to keep meeting on their verandas and sharing the information about what they're doing in their business, because this one is that one son-in-law and that one daughter-in-law and that
21
one cousin,
families.
the 21 families yes, thank you for making it real.
21 families in Jamaica.
That is how, of course.
Yes.
So when you realize that that kind of behavior allows wealth to be concentrated unfairly in certain hands, it's not because they're so bright, it's because they marry one another and their children go to the same school and they're at the picnic together and they're having dinner together and people are just talking and a man is picking up that, hey, I can go and invest. It becomes a fraud on the public. Because you and I, who are not at the dinner parties and sharing in those places, when they put their companies on the stock exchange and they are soliciting your money and my money, but I don't have the information.
Insider information.
And they are using it to their advantage. For example, I remember I once filed a case, as you say, my mentor. We once filed a case against a large local bank because they were about to merge. Two banks are about to merge.
And
the shares start to shift amongst the hands of the inside people.
Sir. I've seen that case like that too, and it went to court and people had to pay. In Jamaica, yes. So it's
because you know what is going on, so you begin to position yourself. That the one that we threatened was settled very, very quickly.
There's a principle there, which is why the press is so important and investigative journalism is so important. The principle of you shine the light and people say, but people say what is happening there. Bob says, and if night return today, a lot of people run away. Because when you shine the light on those things, people say, okay. And that is why I'm saying, even with the narrative that is out there, what is happening with the Integrity Commission, we need to shine the light. Some things just fall off the order table, as you'd call it. One question that I'm asking, today is September, the 26th of September. Why cannot our Prime Minister's returns be gazetted as Mark Golding's was done? What is the problem? Why is it that we're not hearing people continue to ask about it? It's like it just fall off. And that is in the same light in regards to those 6 members of the House who the Integrity Commission has said they have illicit enrichment.
But that is coming in a person.
I know it's coming, but
we must encourage them.
Yeah,
to break forth.
Yeah,
it is coming because first you were saying earlier in the show you were saying something about the manipulation of things.
Yes,
and you and I have spoken about the possibility that this changes in the House, and of course we know the amendment of the law for the DPP and so on. We've been trying to connect the dots.
Where is it?
To understand how the field is being prepared for something which is inevitable. Every now and then somebody write online or tell me that it's like a pregnancy.
It's coming. It's happening. So
it can't stay inside of the mama forever.
Yeah.
It's coming out. So it's a question of the preparation of the field for what is definitely coming out. It's 7:30 a.m. We take our break.
Employees, not sure how to take your career to the next level? Not to worry. The Excelsior Community College has a program just for you. Enroll in one of our programs today and take advantage of our flexible classes, affordable fees, and overseas to travel opportunities. WhatsApp us today at 876-536-4765. Excelsior Community College, transforming lives, nurturing global citizens.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. Oh, baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trang back good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses. Wait, don't like you, Ketch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me, dear. For a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Are you in search of genuine shocks, power steering pumps, engine mount, fender liners, strut mount, front end parts, engine parts, electrical switches, sensors, and so much more for your Honda Ridgeline vehicle? Well, look no further. Contact Mormac Auto Parts at 326-7371 or 821-5232. Remember, Mormac Auto Parts, your Honda Ridgeline new parts dealer. We're located in Kingston. Call us at 326-7371 or 821-5232 for more details.
Do you need reliable health care? We have it. Yes, we do. Great George Street Pharmacy. Shop number 897 Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Opening hours, Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-603-7372 or WhatsApp us at 876-205-0499. Yes, we have reliable health care for you at Great George Street Pharmacy, Savannah, Lamar.
Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location of Operation Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us at 926-3866.
We are something special on the road.
Half a tree, one and drive, half a tree. Bastard. How do I take taxi start?
John, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and I check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, wait all that time I shop down and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and then diagnose the problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
You big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try calling them, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hagley Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice for printing machine.
Greetings. I go by the name of Miss Flyways. Catch me on Best 100. I will be discovering the greatness of Jamaica and Jamaicans through people, places, and things home and abroad. Playing you some good music along with interviewing artists, soundmen, producers, and Jamaicans making a difference all over the world. So catch me between the hours of 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. Monday to Thursday on Best 100 FM. While
smiling happy
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing me.
Good morning and welcome back. 7:37 a.m. The morning is speeding along and we are just going through some of the things that are center stage. We're going through the papers this morning because while we speak a lot about, what is in the heart of God, it is also necessary that we begin to interpret some of the local happenings within that context. Percival spoke about this use of information to deceive and to manipulate the opinions of men and how we make decisions. The battlefield of the mind is where that takes us. And we just want you to kind of never forget it. Never assume that what is being said to you is just words. Seek to look behind it, understand the various spirits that are at work at this time, and choose a course that will place you in the most favorable position, not with man, but with your Creator. And that, to me, sort of trumps everything, because if you are seeking to be in good standing with the one that can affect both your now and your hereafter, then you will find the decisions easier to make. There are some simple, surefire ways to engage the wisdom of God. You can know what is of God versus what is just based on the manipulations, the schemes of men.
And if you teach your mind to think a certain way, and to discern things, over time becomes easier. It becomes habitual. Yeah, because you handle it and you're able to discern. And and that's important. But talking about how important the light is, light akin to knowledge is, because it disperses the darkness. And so many things, what's happening behind closed doors and the different machinations and manipulations that people are seeking to do with the information. Wow. It just blows your mind when you see it and you're able to just, it's like you send a laser right through and destroy what is there. So I'm looking at the persons who are saying the lady shouldn't resign as
members of her constituency, making an appeal to their MP, but they're doing it publicly, they're doing it in the streets. And that seems a little puzzling unless they're not really speaking to her, they're speaking to the one behind her, who will in time to come be required to put up a candidate, and the people are saying it's this one or no one. I'm not sure, is that what they're saying?
Yeah,
that is what they're saying. But I'm happy for her that this vote of confidence is coming out, because it's in all this, we never forget that these are human beings going through stresses and trials, which if you follow the narrative, on the other side of it, there can be something great, not just for the individual, but for the whole nation. So you never really pass judgment and execute sentence so briskly that you don't leave time for rehabilitation.
For mercy to kick in.
For mercy to kick in. So, and it must be rough. Miss Dalrymple Philibert she did her thing in Parliament. It was horrible. She later on took a step which some might say is very brave or some might say it's cowardly, because if you were right the first time, if you were so right the first time, write it out. But if in the face of public outcry, you decide that, maybe I was wrong, and she's resigned. But her resignation has seemed to have caught her constituency off guard.
Where did it caught them?
Which means they say you have good councillors, the mayor is crying. It doesn't seem like she had called a few people and said, listen, I'm going to step down, this, that, whatever. And it was with immediate effect. So it's not like she's doing a handover like Lisa Hanna resigned. But
they elected the person.
You had, the party, her party had an opportunity to go through a process which allowed people to grieve and heal and say, all right, Moses is dead, come Joshua.
But
work together. So it caught everybody by surprise.
I'm thinking about it. Under what circumstances could she really stay when, based on the reports, they kept asking her?
Well, she didn't have to resign with immediate effect as an MP.
Okay.
But I don't think she wanted to. But when you resign with immediate effect as an MP, you still have to go to Parliament. So that unless you can't leave without a by-election with a representative for the constituency, she would have just been very irresponsible.
Outside of somebody dying?
Outside, well, didn't I just start the show by saying when you die? when you die, you're beholden to no man. And anyone who sees you to enforce obligations.
When I watch that, when you tell me that, I say, okay, all right. So that means when I'm dead,
yes,
I'm dead.
You're dead. And that's why the will, you see how careful we are? That's why the first thing in your will the first instruction to your executor is to pay your just debts and expenses.
Just debts and expenses.
That's your first instruction to your executor. Because without that, there would be no obligation on anyone. Person owe me fair bread. Your wife say, go and go follow him. You know what I mean? Percy has a loan here or there, or I gave him something and he was to give it back. I lend him something, save it back. Who's to pay any attention? That's why the law steps in and creates rules that deal with your estate. So your estate become a personal.
Okay.
And the executor of your estate, or the person who is appointed by the court to administer your estate, then has certain responsibilities. But those responsibilities are not personal. No one could say, oh, Percy died and there wasn't enough money to pay this or that, but his executor is here, let me just inflict some harm and damage. No, because that person only stand in your stead to handle matters which you would have handled were you alive. So they can't go and say, I'm sending a bailiff to go and scrape up.
You are my...
the executor's goods.
Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So it's only...
Yeah. So there are some things that when you die, that's the end of it. And there are a whole set of interesting cases about men who died and tried to rule their wife from the grave. They say things like, my wife can live in this house, but only so long as she's single. No man can come in here. And some of those provisions in people's wills were struck down as a man attempting to rule from the grave.
So
there's a whole line of cases.
You know of cases where he dies.
Yes.
And in him will, and say, man can't live in, so they must strike it out.
Yes.
Free to murder. Okay.
Yes, yeah, but you can't rule from the grave if you go and enforce it. And these were things that were usually set against women. So the woman might be part owner of the house, in reality, and when when the man dies, all of it comes to her, and he then tries to put a fetter on her enjoyment of the property that is now completely hers, trying to rule from the grave. I love that expression. No man can rule from the grave. You better just do a resurrection and come back. Do your thing.
But as you say that, but I was reflecting on the weekend in terms of how people are behaving. And I've said it on the program, I've never done a funeral.
I've seen anybody with the U-Haul.
With the U-Haul, or I've seen people putting in the grave with the person this very expensive wine or jewelry and so on, and and put spliff or whatever they put in it. And I'm going to myself, all right. But what is that to the? They're dead. They're dead. They're gone. What are you doing that for? And even the Egyptians tried to do it.
The pyramids.
But and put it on. Oh my Lord. So that is why people need to be so careful in terms of how they live their lives in the present. Because in the living of your life, you are preparing for your death. I said it to somebody, so I mean that we're just doing that session, and I said, what you do now, you're preparing for your death. And so I say, yeah, because your actions that you do.
Side is saying make it public so people can know. Another side is saying keep it private. But an estate which ends up in litigation concerning the structure of the estate assets and who gets what and how certain things are handled, it tells you that if somebody is upset, then maybe there's an attempt to rule from the grave that they're resisting.
Rule from the grave.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Yeah, well, I mean, he has set up a trust, and a trust never dies.
A trust never dies?
No, a trust runs into perpetuity. For so long as there are persons within the class of beneficiaries in the trust, and there's money in the trust, obviously, that trust never dies.
Wow.
So if you want immortality, create a trust. But make sure you have enough money that it can keep running.
So when the money done, the trust dies.
When the money done, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But so long as there are beneficiaries and money to meet
the need,
yes, a trust never dies.
Wow.
That's how you allow your wealth to continue to grow and to have impact. You settle a number of trustees, a committee, most times, several persons who keep handing over to each other. Yeah, it's like the law of the Medes and Persians. Come on.
Change.
Yeah, you always have someone who's going to cover it.
Go ahead.
There's a question that it's Earl Brown contributing here. First he asked, and you can answer this, shouldn't justices of the peace who judge citizens on petty crimes have some type of learning of law?
Yes, we do. We are trained in the law.
Yeah,
yes, we do.
There's training.
The Constitution and the different things. Yes,
and they're not trained by each other.
No.
They're trained by lawyers.
Because remember, the justice of the peace come under the Ministry of Justice.
Yeah. And then he makes an observation. He shares some information with us. In Canada, if a person goes to even a private place and consume alcohol, the person who serves the alcohol is responsible for the consumer, for the drinker, and can be sued if something happens like an accident.
Well, wow. Interesting.
But I think as we get more mature in tracking and managing some of these issues, we need to get there. We need to get there. And it's part of, this is all about liability now. This is not even about love for your neighbor. But love for your neighbor would cause you to make certain inquiries without there being a law.
True.
But frequently, accidents happen, great damage is done, and not enough hands are around to carry the liability. So this now, and this is something which I, for one, I am in favor of apportioning liability, assigning liability to the persons who contribute directly to the damage that has been caused. So you were not behind the wheel driving the car, but you
Gave the man the liquor.
Gave the man the liquor, saw his condition, know that it can't be good for either him or other users of the road for him to just pick up his key. So there, I don't know, some places like you drop your key, you put your key in a box or something, and then when you're ready to leave now, the person who allow you to take out the key or give you, there's something about keys that you, right.
Need to check to see if can you drive?
Can you drive? Are you fit enough? Should we call a cab for you? Whatever the situation might be, at least take an interest. If not, you should share in covering the damage as a result of the person's careless act. I believe that is right and fitting, and it's the same principle, you know, why, like Barbadian Prime Minister is saying to first world countries that mash up the environment with their pollution of the atmosphere. That's why they're out there saying, you the ones who are more responsible for this damage
should pay more.
That's
a given proportionality.
Precisely. This is one of the laws. When you take it down to the nitty-gritty at the micro level, it's the same thing when you have enablers who put alcohol in the bellies of people who go out and create mayhem on the road.
Young people.
Yeah. So in the same vein, you see Michael Phillips calling on the government to close the new highway, the leg of the highway.
Yeah, because
of the incidents of.
I saw a tweet, and the person driving, I see the two cows walking in the road.
Yeah.
No, sir. Seriously, you know. I saw it, and I'm saying, you don't find it. I saw it yesterday, and I'm going.
Well, on the news, they had a dead animal and a busted up vehicle.
And a BMW.
Yeah.
BMW. Yes.
Yeah. But is that an extreme to close it? Rather than, but you know, what I liked about the argument, yes, that's what was on the news. What I like about the argument is just the way you're giving supremacy to human life and safety on the road. It better you close the road.
Yeah, because
that's a hazard which should have been contained before. When I think about it that way, I say, but you know, there are all kinds of reasons. And the truth is, other roadways have issues too.
But this one was not complete because they never had the fencing in place when they did Highway 2000. You saw the fencing, even though people cut it and.
Yes, but listen, I drive on some road in my neck of the woods that. Not even curb wall it not have.
No, sister.
So
yeah, but this one that
you're tempted to give consideration to whether we are setting unrealistic standards.
No, sister, with all of the money that you put in this.
No, they should absolutely complete the job to the standard and with all the amenities and features that are part of the contract. But the question is, when you say to the government, close that road because of a particular hazard, why not close the road in Westmoreland where they've had people die, they've had fatalities from people colliding with animals? Why not close the road somewhere else where there's another thing which is a real risk to human life? Why this particular road would get that treatment? It provokes that question in me, and I'm not really answering it one way or another. I'm just considering how we selectively promote a principle for one place, but the same hazard exists right next door, and you're not even looking at that anymore. So what informs the difference? Because if we're being rational, we would say, all right, these hazards that are on the road, if we say government is responsible, if we say this is preventable, then we should be doing the same things all around. Kind of maybe a purist argument, but I've forgotten which road we were on, and I was saying to Lowell, is this really for two vehicles? Because when you are in the middle of the road, it just look like a very narrow road with foliage grow up all the way into the road to humbug you on one side and a steep drop on the other side. And in truth, when another vehicle did approach, you had to stop and tuck yourself in somewhere.
That's how that has been from those roads, yeah.
So now, okay, so because we're paying top dollar for this one, we have some standards, but the roads that regular Jamaicans traverse day in, day out, those don't require any safety measures.
No, I'm saying no, but I understand. You say it's a purist argument. It is a purist.
Yeah, I'm conceding it. But if we are going to, I like the idea of or being more intentional in raising the bar.
In terms of what we expect.
Yes, but we are a country. We're not just little snippets of road that you can hold somebody's foot to the fire over this mile of road, but the rest of it. So you would have done everything to save me from harm and injury on this segment, and as soon as I leave it, I'm in all kinds of trouble.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that quadruple murder thing I see there?
Yes, in Riversdale, yes.
As in, it's happening now?
It just happened. It just tweeted yesterday. Today, this morning.
Whose constituency is it? I see.
Riversdale would be.
Oh no, it's not connected to the picture that I see on the same page. Percival, I'm gonna let you speak on that because the
quadruple murder.
You know already that I am concerned about the low value which the nation, the state puts on the lives of Jamaicans. And you see it when you come into court and the way people are treated. And now you can see that it's not in isolation.
It's all over. It's top crawl district, Riverdale, St. Catherine.
It's like about
3 women.
10 people dead in the last 48 hours.
3 women.
Maybe 72 hours.
Yeah, 3 women.
Are you close enough to the microphone?
3 women.
Murdered?
Murdered. And a gentleman.
In one family or different homes?
I don't know. Well, it's Higgins, 2 Higgins, 9 Johnson, a man only identified as Kevin, and ladies just speaking about, an elderly lady speaking about it.
Producer, can you just check that news report? Quadruple murder in St. Catherine being...
Riversdale, yeah. Wow.
Oh, God.
Yes.
You know, there must come a time when our nerves are so frayed from the stress of what's happening around us that we actually just like spontaneously do something about it.
I think we're getting to that point.
There's a question that I asked maybe a decade or 2 ago, and it hasn't been answered yet. The question I asked, considering Haiti, when does a nation reach breaking point? We know in our individual lives that there's a point at which we break, and we either die, going to descend into madness. This is if you don't overcome. 2 roads are before you. You get to a point where enough. A nation can say enough. Just the way individuals can say enough, a nation can say enough.
Is enough.
We're doing something about this now, and it's not business as usual.
Cannot be.
I believe that many of us are at that point in this nation, and you know, it's 8 o'clock. We're going to take our break. When we come back, we'll talk. If you know anything about what's happening in St. Catherine, do call us. We're just kind of watching it unfold online as we speak. This is the Morning Connection.
You're still playing on that.
Buzz FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
BBC News, hello, I'm Gareth Barlow. The head of the United States Aid Agency has called for the international community to be given access to Nagorno-Karabakh. Samantha Power warned there were injured people there who needed help and said many were suffering from psychological problems after the past week of fighting. Azerbaijan is continuing to take control of the disputed territory, prompting more than 13,000 ethnic Armenians to flee. The BBC's Sarah Rainsford is in the Armenian border town of Goris.
What people here have been telling me, on the whole, is not that they've been forced from their homes, not that someone's come and told them to leave, but they don't trust the Azerbaijani authorities. They don't believe that they'll be safe if they stay, and so they've fled. But there's this general mood, I'd say, of bewilderment, shock that it's come to this, that they've had to leave their homes after generations, many of them, in Karabakh. And lots of people, when you ask them what lies ahead, what is going to happen to them, they just shrug.
The International Energy Agency says renewable technologies could help limit global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius, but it added much bolder action was required. It's called for massive investments of more than $4 trillion every year. Here's Theo Leggett.
The IEA said that while the pathway to keeping global warming under control had narrowed, the record recent growth in clean energy technologies such as solar power and mounting electric car sales meant the target was still in reach. However, the agency's executive director, Dr. Fatih Birol, told the BBC meeting it would still be a huge challenge, requiring extensive cooperation between governments. It would also need investments in clean energy to more than double, from $1.8 trillion a year to $4.5 trillion by the middle of the next decade. But he warned that the alternative, using technology to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, would be more expensive and might fail to deliver.
For the first time in 3 decades, a delegation from Saudi Arabia has arrived in the occupied West Bank for talks. The group crossed overland from Jordan. Here's our Middle East editor, Yolan Nell, with this report.
The recently appointed Saudi envoy to the Palestinians, Naif al-Suderi, arrived in Ramallah to much fanfare. Officially, he came to the West Bank for a ceremony to present his credentials to the President Mahmoud Abbas, and the Palestinians have hailed this trip as historical and important in their relations with Saudi Arabia. However, it appears to say much more about Riyadh's changing ties with the Israelis. The visit comes after the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said in an interview last week that every day his country got closer to establishing diplomatic relations with Israel. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said the two countries were at the cusp of a deal which he predicted would transform the Middle East.
This is the world news from the BBC. Russia's defense ministry has released a video showing the commander of the Black Sea Fleet attending a conference, despite Ukraine's claim to have killed him in a missile strike on Friday. It's not clear when the footage, which shows Viktor Sokolov listening to the defense minister Sergei Shoigu, was filmed. Shares in China's Evergrande have slumped again as the embattled property developer revealed it defaulted on another debt to foreign creditors. Evergrande is one of several heavily indebted Chinese developers in a sector that's facing a severe crisis. Our Asia business correspondent Nick Marsh reports.
Every day seems to bring more bad news for Evergrande. Their shares are practically worthless, but they've still managed to lose more than 25% of their value this week. Yesterday, a debt restructuring plan collapsed after Evergrande revealed a regulatory probe was underway into its main domestic unit, Hengda Real Estate. Today, they confirmed that they'd defaulted on more than $500 million worth of debt, which is owed to overseas creditors. There have also been reports in China, unconfirmed by the BBC, that several current and former Evergrande executives, including the former chief executive, have been detained by Chinese authorities.
Iranian state media say 4 people have been sentenced to death after 17 people lost their lives and nearly 200 were blinded in alcohol-related poisonings. The 4 were convicted of preparing and distributing deadly alcoholic drinks in the country's northern Alborz province. Alcoholic drinks are illegal in Iran, which has then led to a thriving black market for home-produced alcohol. And the authorities in Tanzania say they've culled 5 million invasive red-billed kalea birds in the northern Manyara region. Earlier this year, Kenya used pesticides to battle an infestation in the west. The UN estimates the birds damage more than $50 million worth of crops each and every year, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. BBC.
Are you in search of genuine shocks, power steering pumps, engine mount, fender liners, strut mount, front end parts, engine parts, electrical switches, sensors, and so much more for your Honda Ridgeline vehicle? Well, look no further. Contact Mormac Auto Parts at 326-7371 or 821-5232. Remember, Mormac Auto Parts, your Honda Ridgeline new parts dealer. We're located in Kingston. Call us at 326-7371 or 821-5232 for more details.
This is Richie Dodd on the
beat. Having trouble getting parts for your Mazda? Maljam Auto Parts is your solution. Find Maljam at the new and convenient location off Upper Waltham Park Road at 9 Kingswood Avenue. Maljam Auto Parts, with over 25 years experience, providing all Mazda parts, new and used. Call 923-4389 and 461-1786. Maljam Auto Parts, serving your Mazda needs.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. Oh, baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses. Wait, don't like you, Ketch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for me, the actor.
Discussions on health and education, inspiring interviews, surprise giveaways, your favorite songs. Tune into Best 100 FM this and every Sunday at 11:30 to 12 noon. It's Distinction 411, your weekly college magazine program hosted by James and the Distinction family. Catch you on Sunday.
Ready for the war, dear. Oh, yeah. Ready for the war.
And the world, you want us back? We are back. The brain and deliverance ministry, led by me, the prophet Mark Stewart, right here on Best 100 FM. This and every Thursday night from 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Yes, it's Raw Room Thursday. Come on out and join us, each and every one, on Best 100 FM, 100.13 by 7 and 9. Come on out. I need the prophet, Reverend Mark Stewart, and of course, the Bishop, Apostle Marshall. Come for your healing, breakthrough, deliverance, the prayer, the miracle, the word, the testimony, and so much more. Yes, my friends, Best 100 FM, Best 100 FM, War Room Thursday, 9 p.m. to 12 midnight. Join us. We are going to live.
Ready for the war, Peter. Ready for the war, Peter.
Hello. Pastor Howard Palmer here, coming to you from New York City. This and every Saturday morning, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's right, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. This and every Saturday morning, right here on Best 100 FM. Don't you miss it?
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show. Lassel's Butch Chen on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing work in our maturing years. Compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome. Goodness mercy, it's me again, Lord, your restorer, your game changer. Join me every Saturday morning at 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and Best FM 100. It's Apostle Clive Campbell, aka the Khaki Suit Man, coming to you from 8 to 12 Orange Street, also Richmond District, Mandeville. Embrace the change.
Is this the confusion you feel when trying to work your way through medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Earth Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good. It's better. But nothing weak.
Welcome back and good morning to those who are just joining us. It's the Morning Connection on Best 100 FM and it's time to open the lines. Let me tell you the numbers. 876-619-1508 and 876-279-8473. Those are the numbers by which you can reach us, and please be sure to share your ideas, your thoughts on the matters Percival and I were discussing. First of all, looking beyond our earthly leaders and speaking to you concerning obligations, duties, laws that are set by the Almighty God, laws against which we have trespassed. What to do, what to do, what to do. There are some things which leaders ought to do. There are some things which the general population need to do to give support and to show their willingness to acknowledge that the Lord is God, the Lord is God. We've been on this theme since yesterday, so let's hear from you on some of these issues. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, man. Greetings, everyone.
Good morning, Wayne. How are you?
I'm good. Listening to you talking about, like if somebody had drink and the person who give them the drink is responsible to, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, gosh. You all have to be responsible to really run a good country, a good world. We all have to be responsible, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And anytime people can get away with things, you know, that is destructive, them only ever continue doing it, you know.
True, but some might not even know that it's destructive because we never connect the dots between their behavior and the destruction that takes place elsewhere. You know, you're there selling liquor, selling drugs, selling until you see exactly what it is, because we may assume that people are going to do things in moderation, and when they don't, and we just continue to feed them, we need to see the result of our own behavior.
As me there talking, flash to my mind. One time I listened to a BBC news, and a person from England in Singapore, but he was selling drugs, like cocaine or something like that, and get caught, and you know the punishment is death.
Yes.
The person put on the death list now, and people all over England was like pleading for the person not to be put to death, but when they die, they be put into death. Would someone say that the Singapore authority wasn't merciful? would anyone say that? Because the man who was selling drugs, you know, kill people, you know. Because remember that kill people, you know, walking dead it me.
Yeah.
He's creating walking dead.
Yeah.
I think that the judgment was perfectly right.
Well, they carried out the sentence of law. They carry out the sentence of law. Is not a discussion about whether they were merciful or not. They did what the law permitted. And the
law was a just law.
And the law was a just law. So you bear in mind that when you're at that stage, the operation of mercy has already been done.
I'm telling you something, I'm saying about here, Miss Minute. I meditate this bugger right done. I'm like, this is about Thursday. Yeah, about Thursday, so I went there. Now come on Brunswick, right? That is in Spanish Town. Now come on Brunswick, where there's a two-way road. Right, so a man stop in car to the bank and him stop, and the next man stop in the middle of the road, you know, upper car on the road, and that's a very busy road.
It is very
busy. In the evening too, right? The man stop in the road, put on him blinker, and attack, you know. Listen to me, the man could have go in front of the man when I talk to and park and make the rest of the car them can feel go about it. The man stop in the road, put on him blinker, you know, and attack, you know.
Was it a
No, it was a young youth, he was a policeman. And yeah, ride my bicycle one day and I wonder what go on, you know, because I see the traffic at back up and I wonder what go on, you know. So a lady now, she did that behind him and she get a little space on the next row of traffic, so she could have gone around and she said, you couldn't come off of this, you couldn't just come park and talk. I talk him, let me link carrying him, put on the blinker. And I be stuck him and tell the woman, you know.
And him abuser.
Yeah, I tell her she must go.
Let me say all of that. Let me say all of that, you know, come to my mind.
We'll get someone licking pop.
One country full of lunch.
You remember the dunce bag.
Yeah.
But
that is dunce behavior for true.
Wayne, I tell you something. Because, all right, you see what you pointed out? I see a lot of persons who driving, they say, a man turn on the hazard light and a driver. I say, you must have somebody car. No, the taxi man I go around and try make space. Them dumb business, man. Them just so selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So I guess when these bags come, all right, the word dunce. I'm going to look it up in a dictionary. I don't see it. I go up on YouTube. I don't see it come up. Is the word dunce a Jamaican language?
No,
language or is that English?
It's an English. It really comes out of the English schoolroom, but it is not what you'd call. It's not polite language. So it hasn't made its way into the dictionaries that you were looking at.
No, man.
You know, but it's terrible. It's terrible. And I'm say, so far, when we meditate on the laws of God written in the Bible, you know, see no more laws that surpass it.
Superior to it.
So, unless we really deal with these laws, we have forever have problem. Because remember, that's what God said now. If we live these laws, we will be comfortable. If we don't, have destruction and death. All of the people them are dead. Women are dead. So when you see something to happen and women are dead and people are dead, I tell you, actually the laws not being kept, not being enforced.
That's why earlier I was saying when you see certain things happening, you can look into it and understand which law has been broken, what needs to be done to set things back in on track, and whether the state is the one to do it or the priest is the one to do it. There is someone with an assignment to do it. If we have that awareness, we can address every problem with wisdom. The word dunce has a meaning in the Oxford Languages Dictionary, because I just checked it for you. A person who is slow at learning, a stupid person, fool, idiot, are similar words that carry a similar meaning.
All right, then, that's all.
All right, my dear. Yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I trust you both well, the team as well.
Yes, we are doing.
It's simple out there, as the song says.
That's another ancient tune.
Oh boy.
But what went on in the court yesterday with that ask a question, you didn't hear it or did you listen to it?
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it.
You heard it, Jigsaw?
There was a favor. Please listen to it. And when you have the opportunity next to dissect it in terms of the soft talk that goes on.
Yes. I don't know where. All right, I heard some of it. In the papers.
I didn't hear all of it. I heard stuff. I don't know if I have time to search it out.
Yes. No, man. When I heard the Isaiah reference, when I heard the Come Let's Reason Together, I said there's a brain at work in that body. Because he was calling on the judge to suspend the formalities and take a more spiritual approach in determining their fate.
Oh, so we need a pastor, not a lawyer.
There's a pastor who was convicted along with them, so.
The lady.
Yeah.
The lady.
Yeah.
Anyhow, try and chat to you later, call her on.
All right, my brother, thank you so much. Thank you. There's another definition of the word dunce that is offered by the Merriam-Webster dictionary. A slow-witted or stupid person. How come he didn't find it? In the English Cambridge Dictionary, a person who is slow to learn or stupid, especially at school. A person who is slow to learn. And they have a picture of the dunce cap. You remember the conical dunce cap? Yes. Yes. And if you watch Harry Potter, you'll see there's a dunce cap. Dull-witted, stupid, or ignorant person. And it continues. Yeah, dunce is a well-established word with one consistent meaning. If you say that someone is a dunce, you think they are rather stupid because they find it difficult or impossible to learn.
I know where it came from.
A dunce is a dummy, someone who isn't smart.
Yeah, but it says the word dunce comes from a 13th century Scottish philosopher, John Duns Scotus, whose resistance to new ideas and mystical belief inspired opponents to equate his followers, the Duns disciples, to dullards. Later, some teachers made children wear pointed paper dunce caps when they misbehave.
Yes, I love it. It's actually named after the man.
Yes.
If you behave like dunce, you're called a dunce. Just like those who behave like Christ are called Christians.
Yes.
Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Morning, November.
Good morning.
African. Are you hearing us better today?
Much better, man.
Yes, man. Thanks to the engineer.
Yes.
The thing fixed from properly. Give thanks to engineer, because I'm expecting one of them sign another day.
Okay.
Oh man, they kept plugging away at it. And did a piece of equipment change actually. So.
Give thanks to him and the Lord must help him to get through.
Wisdom.
You know, sir, next minute, November.
Yes.
We hear one station a deal with the Monday.
Mr. Christie.
What matter about the time?
Yes.
Christie, yes.
Christie?
Yes.
We hear one station. The man who won the station I talk about Mr. Christie. And me I tell them this minute. The man, what they call it now, investigating, and then in prosecuting.
They execute him and revive him and do it all over again.
And then in trying, and then in executing in a missionity. The man for a man we are doing a talk show program. They can't talk like that way there. I'm going to let the man trouble him sitting there, man, the man a problem, you know.
But it would sound that way.
Yeah, it sounds like the man a problem, though.
You know, I feel like that same person may have dealt with me in a similar fashion many years ago. What you're describing sounds like something that happened to me on a radio program. And they talked about me for about 5 days.
Are you serious?
The whole week.
$53 million.
Oh, no, it was really about $28 million of money that the government paid me for building and defending the, what the fund name again? Couldn't think I remember the name. The Universal Access Fund. They spoke about me. That man read, I feel, is it a male host of a certain program?
Yes, it's Trinity.
The man read all my invoice. Read it out and discussed each item of work that I did and why nobody else in Jamaica could have done it. Why was it necessary to take a private lawyer and make her do work that they have an attorney general's chambers? And look how much was paid to her.
Are you serious?
Oh yes, I know the quality of workmanship. Mr. Christie will survive because so did I.
And I want to say, it's in my job. I could have really hear when they talk about it, but never know you know.
You would have heard it. You would have heard it, man. It ran on the thing for about 5 days. It was considered like the greatest fraud against the government. That they would take a lawyer out of private practice, appoint her as an advisor, and then install her as a director of a company and pay her for the work that she did. And it went on and on and on. It started, I think it lasted for more than a week, really, because it was also focusing on Mr. Paulwell, and I was his advisor. So Mr. Christie will survive. Other persons who are more balanced understand the context in which he spoke. Everybody accept that, yeah, those are not the first words you want to say. But you know what? The fact that he spoke as he did has opened up a conversation on government's responsibility. Yes.
The government of Jamaica is doing.
Well, I know why you're asking.
The government of Jamaica is the elected MPs, government side, and right?
Yes.
That's correct. Once you miss that, you know that.
And it comes back to us as well, the people who select them and who uphold them and who keep them in position and who enable them.
Yeah. And this man come under pressure.
Yep.
This man come under pressure, you know, Mr. Christina.
Great pressure.
You know, them ever talk about what happened to the man that worked with Mr. Christina.
Precisely. Yeah. And somebody's writing in.
And them not talk about Gary Rimple, you know.
No, because all this is meant to be a misdirection. Blood for blood.
Them the put round, so, you know, with the media, you know, the media, me I tell about, you know. The media was supposed to hand them case, you know.
Supposed to be balanced.
Today in the Gleaner, there is an article from written by Gordon Robinson, who I know he and Mr. Christie were the same year in law school, so he knows Mr. Christie beyond just what he's doing in recent times. And he has put a context in which Christie's words should be received. He is reminding us that Mr. Warmington had stormed out of the Parliamentary Committee, Oversight Committee meeting because Chairman Bartlett had prevented him from accusing a named Integrity Commission Director of political bias. That director is the same man who was shot and robbed. So for that man to come under attack when that man had been accused of displaying political bias, it's too rich for us to ignore.
The people never ask him on the question.
And that's how Tenant says, ask the government.
Yes, and they ask him again what that means. He says, ask them what it means. Because security is their government responsibility.
These people were picked to go deal with that.
Yes.
Me are different this stuff now when my people, me are different. Me are different people that get full of too much corruption, you know.
And it's good that you can make that difference because the Integrity Commission is doing work that is important to the nation of Jamaica.
Yes,
and we should stand behind them. We've been calling for them to get the necessary support, and now to discover that they don't even have security at the car park.
Come on, man. The school, man. When the man, them pass at the time. One politician in our vehicle.
Yes, with all the outriders. African, we have to take a station break now. It's 8:31. Yes.
It's good to be here, yeah?
Thank you for calling.
All right.
For a better choice in all your electrical supplies, A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales, shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-382-528 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales for a better choice.
Praise the Lord, praise the Lord. God is good. This is already pastor and friend, Reverend Simon Peter Jones, inviting you, my friends, to listen every Tuesday evening on Best 100 FM at 7:30 p.m. for the program
The Voice of Hope, as we extend hope to the hopeless in this dying world. God is good. Be encouraged. Hope is in
Is this the confusion if you want to work with medical systems in Jamaica? Try a dose of Earth Dr. Mary every Thursday at 5 to 6 p.m. Let Dr. Mary help you understand your medical problems and bring you to a calmer place.
Fearless and love more.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Best 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibi Lion, each and every Friday, giving you the better vibes heard everywhere.
Best 100 FM presents the Mature and Moving Up Show, Lascelles Butch Chen, on Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Welcome to this pioneering radio program on our continuing work in our maturing years. Compellingly defined to educate and liberate the younger generation. Tune in and welcome.
Best 100 FM is the authentic voice of Jamaica, promoting your prosperity with better vibes and better music. Let us promote your goods and services for you. Advertise with us. For more information, call our office at 876-276-8935. That's 276-8935.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on the Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing neat.
Good morning and welcome back to the caller online. Thank you so much for holding. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Man, they can't call me Mr. Wait, you know? And the mind holding.
All right, Mr. Wayne.
You know, what come to my mind, because I'm just on the subject of dunce again, you know.
Okay.
And you know what come to my mind now? You think you have educated dunce?
Of course. Somebody wrote that. Yes, man.
It is tautologous, a new word I'm teaching you. It is a word, that phrase educated dunce kind of cancel its own meaning, but yes, in the spirit of it, there are persons who have information, are learned, they've learned some things, but their application of it is in the vein of the dunce.
Because they are doing things foolishly.
Yeah.
Alright, I don't stop me out. That's up.
All right.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for joining us on the Morning Connection. How are you? Good morning, caller. Hello.
Good morning, or is the line just still open? Yeah. Yeah, uneducated dunce. Education in its pure form, if you give it its proper meaning, means you have been changed by the acquisition of knowledge. So, yeah.
Good morning, caller. Thank you for calling the Morning Connection. How are you?
Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
Dave. How are you?
Good morning, top leader.
Good morning, my brother.
Don't cheat quickly. Let me ask you.
Yes.
I'm going to talk with it. 95% of Jamaican are adults, all right? The only black person I saw in Jamaica is Miguel, Musa, you, and Percy. You are done.
No.
If I drive, I'm going to say I it's a danger. Stop. I'm going to proceed and run after the big. Am I an intelligent person even if I have 10, 60?
Well, you see the sign, did you read it? I mean, are you describing or are you illiterate? Because a whole lot of people see sign and
don't read it.
And don't read it.
If you are intelligent, act intelligent.
Okay.
Tell me now a minute.
Yes.
What is it Mr. Christian should resign? When the person said, open all it is and it's social, which one is the radical or which one? Was it Colonel Charles? Did he resign? Did anybody call on him to resign?
I don't think anybody called on him to resign. They might have asked him to apologize or to clarify, but you see, we seem to be, we're in a
selective.
There's a fever running through the nation now, and it seemed to strike without any kind of conscience, because some of the people who I heard calling for Miss Dalrymple to resign, them same one turn around and they're calling for Mr. Christie to resign. And the logic actually contradicts itself.
That's right.
Yeah, because you call on her to resign because you want to have an appearance of good governance.
Right.
So clearly they're only interested in the appearance. And they're calling on Christie to resign for the same thing, appearance of good governance. Mr. Christie's comment, even if you say it's ill-advised, it's generally ill-advised to just answer when a microphone is pushed in your face, because you have no idea what people are going to do with your words. But I think in the moment when that thing happened, he was right in saying, ask the government responsible to provide security at the place. And government know what it is they were being asked to do to better secure the workers of the Integrity Commission.
We need to respect our responsibility. If my son is in a classroom, I got a teacher and two children from a class say, sir, the guy hit your son 2 times and the teacher stopped me and does and do nothing. Do I go to the security guard and ready to him or reprimand him or I come to a minute ask me? Who should I ask? Who is responsible for the security, the protection, and
that's how I see it.
Yeah,
that's how I see it.
If you take up a dunce to do a dunce work, it can't be intelligent. It is a dunce result. And I'm asking you the question, what does Mr. Christie do? Because I don't hear Mississauga talking about 6 people that would get shot over the weekend in Jamaica. And if it's happening at the valleys and Chirigan, they will be in the government. One of these guys that lie down, guys that's in them box are practically naked, get shot in them back, die in Chisholm Avenue. died in Grantham. Where is Mr. Nixon? Where is it?
Yes, we're not asking the commissioner to resign.
$1 million. If you got in Beverly's and children, it's going to be here.
You're really right, because I was just relating to a minute yesterday. A young man, 19 years old, live off Maxwell. He was crying because he said him uncle was just shot, and in the space of 2 days after that, him and him friend was in house playing game, and him friend, there was a wake happening, so him friend gone. Him said the only reason why I never went with his friend who never did anything was because he was playing game. And boom, and him friend died, and him said what? They couldn't find him, and them hear that he was shot. Just like
no, it cannot. You have to dance because it's happening close. I was still feeling like it is feeling as usual. Really know what to want to do with it. Coming out of the room. Why is the Ministry of National Security driving around in the Range Rover? Why is it that the Commissioner of Police getting over $80 million to do what? They must resign. They are getting money at party then. If somebody can't only do 1 minute in life, you know what that's the intelligent person. Anything you don't forget to pay your loan. You don't forget to pay your mortgage, and you don't forget to pay $1 million. And also, you try to pay that you have no brain and you're playing, you must know to your pay. Don't come to me with that, come to other people with that. What is really happening in our country? We still blaming like this business as usual. And we're going to shut this country and ask Forrest Chang to give us some results to resign. And we're going to ask Andrew why I would pay the government $34 million and it is quiet. It is black people lying on the ground, dying, they shut up. Helpless. I have to tell you a minute. What is happening in our country? Where is this Mississippi I go? Where is he? I talk about gun, back up the gun. Where is the charge? Who did that stadium police next door? Which one man had this gun back when I played? Some sort of whatever. Where is the gun that's firing guns, that's firing mobile at the wheels? Who on the wheel? What is happening at that hospital? What is happening to the lawyer who the man dying in our house? What is happening in Jamaica, people? Really know? Tell us. What is really happening?
I would say to ask the government. But then they might ask me to resign. No, you're asking questions that are valid in terms of identifying.
Let me ask you one last question.
Yes.
I buy a credit, a $5,000 credit card. You just said, I pay tax, right?
Yes.
Why, when I'm using the phone and the phone hang up, I see something come up about this percentage of tax? Are you taxing me 3 or 4 times? Are you taxing me? What is really happening here? I just not coming up, please.
Oh,
I pay tax if I pay if I buy the card for $100, I pay $50 tax already, but it's already.
So you're getting messages now. Do a screenshot of one of those messages and send it to me, please, because that would sound like double taxation.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to, because this is a line phone I'm using.
Yes. Whenever you can, screenshot it and let me find out what that is. Because these things will creep in, and before you know it, and because it's small amounts for individuals, nobody follow up on it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The knowledge. There was 58 truckers and missing on my beach. Was the minister at the time resigned? Was the president that who get charged for that 58 truckers and missing from my beach? Who get charged for that unit?
Let me say something to you. Yeah. I want to say something to you with regards to that question you've posed. I want you to remember that over time, as things happen, there's like a tightening of the tension. As when things keep happening and nobody's being held accountable, you get to the point of the last straw that breaks the camel's back, where for some minor infraction, people want the whole hog. It happens in the life of a nation when the same people are seeing things escalate. So today, you might say, 10 years ago, this thing happened, we did nothing. 5 years ago, something else happened, we did nothing. Well, today, if you even, like your complaint about the number of policemen in Halfway Tree, today you get to zero tolerance in certain quarters because you had let it slide over the years gone by. So don't sort of look at it in a, maybe even a partisan way, that 10 years ago certain things happened and nothing was done. It is because nothing was done 10 years ago why people want so much now, because you missed your opportunities earlier and you try to catch it on one event.
Everybody want them pound of flesh now.
Everybody want the pound of flesh now.
There was Burge, I mean, I think he's got whatever now, the station of Blood Street.
Yes.
He was leaking out about the police then attack the tree. How many of them are stopping out by the citizen? I am saying to you again, minute. These guys will stop about 1,000 cars a day or 500, let me not say. When they stop these cars, how many guns, how many wanted man, how many drugs are found in these cars? But I can tell you, they give so much tickets. What is the purpose of harassing beasts and bicycles? Are you going to send the same energy at night at these 20, 30 police at Arbitrary? Look, man, all them phone at beasts and bicycles. So about that, 1 o'clock in the night, I are there to harass beasts and bicycles. Why these police are not out there when I do out there in the night? And also, no police car, no police stand up and protect the people in my work, really. Revenue to the government, right? So obvious. Why are these police who supposed to not in Halfway Tree at 12 o'clock in the night, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, walking up and down, checking store and whatever?
What are you doing on the road at those hours?
I coming from the airport. I have a couple of brothers who travel a lot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, they are there for your security.
That's so why
so many police
man in the area knocking up the people? Because I went somewhere there when I go on the field and park up in the man, you see, walk past and pushing 9 when I'm in front, you know, and it's not illegal 9, I know that. But you don't concern now, because I pick up a phone and call about that. Police are not feeling like we are the friends. So I said, they get paid, they must have a problem. I don't want nobody come call nobody and say I ain't talk. So why is it that you're not having the police then in down valley? Take down the thing, knock up Mr. G and say, oh, you do. Have a relationship with the person. So therefore, these people can't relate any problem to the police. Instead of having the police harassing these and bicycles and who cannot speak English language good and drive on the range in a compass for what? Why are we paying these guys?
All right, I get to my brother, but I must say that I don't know if they have heard your complaints. Yesterday I saw them, not all in Halfway Tree, but they were in stationed at different points along Constant Spring Road going up.
In the afternoon, I was in Halfway Tree. In the afternoon, I
you know what I'm thinking?
That was your special cross.
You know what I'm thinking, David?
Brooklyn supermarket.
All right.
All right, my brother. All right, we need to take another call. Thanks so much, Dave. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Yeah, that was a bad call. I want to explain something very quickly for Earls. Earl Brown is asking how the tax on phone cards, how it is an add-on. So the phone company will say this is a $500 card, and you add the tax to it, and
it's 15%.
25% for phone calls.
Okay.
Yeah. 25. It was 25%. I don't think it came down. It's higher, and it's GCT. It's a consumption tax.
Okay.
So the phone company needs to sort out their own thing. You ought not to see another tax being applied.
Okay.
So it's easy to check that out. And depending on where you are, a $100 phone card can cost $150, because if you're in a place where the vendor put on their markup,
get this thing.
It's tax plus the vendor's markup. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection. Good morning. Welcome, welcome. All right. Dave does talk about, he has a concern about how the police
are deployed.
Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, blessed love. I want to talk about Mr. Chuck.
Yes.
Chuck?
I hear him say, don't shooting go on them place.
Yes.
And him say, a man come to the area. So someone is not going never in a area to bus to.
I see.
One man them bring gun in the area, come give him and them and start fire for one area.
So the MP for the Grandspan area is saying that the recent gun violence is caused by strangers who have come in and stir up trouble.
Yes.
And your question is one hand can't clap.
And you might tell him and them now say, cease, don't want him want them to cease and disease. You know what that means?
Cease and desist.
Yeah, that means he just go cool out and wait till the police and call the police and carry out them investigation. So just go cool out and wait till them gone and not get no trouble. And make the police and carry out them investigation. And that means cease and desist. So I say, all of the gun them were in the big country. And them are go on and them are say them are trying to with the gang them. And them not take them gun. Them are left them gun same way because you about nobody where they will tell them they don't even tell them get a gun. They come over in a year nothing about it again because them would have let go about the man and something. Because all of them kind of thing they don't matter about the long term than the Nagi people. I'm going to make innocent, they want to kill and get sentence.
Yeah, but it's interesting that you have said that because we've been talking about the police and their performance and how we can better deploy them. And that is a question that I ask myself because the same thing that I've seen the caller about how many people in Halfway Tree Square. I just assume that it's people who are gazetted police versus those who are being trained who are on the street. I could not understand why in one area, if you go from when you get into Clock Tower.
Yeah, man. I know up to Canton to Don Robin and exactly. and round.
Yeah,
and you don't, in my area, I don't see them in a million or you buy to them out on the front. And you see the man them down little bit below them, or top side them, after them, stand up to them like them.
Do you find them effective or offering any, do they?
Effective,
yeah.
When you know what effective, I don't know effective police. From this man are coming and by him to a control it, we tell them long time him to a control all of the head them.
So where in your community now that you say you see these numbers, police, you're saying people are quarreling and going bad and make trouble and crime going same way, even though the police are stationed nearby?
When the man is ready, just do a thing. To make him know say why would they have to and nobody feel like it all goes up. But me I tell them say we are telling people and say don't make them come influence them like we did the last time and intimidate them. Because right now the most of them have your undercover, them can't come out up here like when they used to.
Okay.
But in time the master come out here because when time the police gone, then have to just look on them.
Okay.
Wow. And I say, we have Mr. Morgan at about pushback. Pushback on the people So and the people them allow them to say them thing and I go on like them. In control of that, I'm not in control of the people. You know, you have no one know the words that we say. You broke the seal where we didn't feel it. You know, by the most of our word.
Every Wednesday we say them. Because, no, I said every Wednesday we speak the words that will break
that yoke of bondage
that cause us to live in a certain way.
Come on, come speak in the car and everybody listen.
Well, the way things...
Yes. Them sound now me out, some people can't take it, you know.
Well, I want to explain something since you touched that vein. We only need to speak it into the atmosphere because there's a oneness to humanity, and what the Father is looking for is to see that the laws are being obeyed and the ones who are appointed to speak have spoken. So you know, we don't have to say it in Half-a-Tree Square.
No.
You have to say it in Parliament. Good. All right. So we are speaking the words.
That's why to me just hear my out and just say it, you know, because I see already when you brother, I said, when you say Mr. Christie, so I'm here to speak to Christie there. Ask the government, I say, of course, about the land, say, when you had that video, go ask to the government. I can't come and ask about.
Yep.
You know, see, so anything when me say I read myself, and other people too.
Yes,
you know that.
Right.
So me say, I'll never do that just out of the word, and it will go around.
And it will go around.
Yes.
You know, some people will stubborn, you know. You see some dog, I tell you about some dog, you can't, not even the owner can control them. You know, see, so me I tell them, say, what me hear matter about Bell, the cat, and the dog one Bell. You know, see.
All right.
And no cat.
Yes, you're speaking mysteries now. Thanks for calling.
Yes, so me I tell the people them say, don't bother go stay in the dark and go about and search the light. Like we don't know what is light.
True.
Move from just turn, man.
On that point, the light is within us. So turn on your own light. You have searchlight in there. Turn it on.
Turn it on.
It will burn out. It will burn out the darkness.
Turn around and walk, and just turn around and walk. You end up where you come.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Blessings and glory.
Yes, I love it. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning, all the wonderful people of Jamaica.
Whoa. Lady Love.
Hi, beautiful. How are you doing?
Lady Love, how are you?
I'm here watching you getting handsomer.
Wow.
I'll get glasses for you when next I see you.
Oh, okay. I'm wearing one, but maybe I need it in the double.
What's up? Long time to hear from you, Lady Love. What's up?
Well, the sun is bright and shiny where I'm at. And the things around us, the trees are green and singing as the wind take it left and right sometimes.
So you're seeing new growth. Sound like you're seeing a renewal.
I grown the tree, it's growing up although the corn died.
And it will be ready for Christmas?
I don't know. But it's planted and it's growing up.
And you're nurturing it?
Yes.
Can't ask for more?
Yeah. I want to say something. You know, I don't know why we import something in our country. And I'm dealing with clothing and all them things.
Can you hold, my dear? Can you hold, please? We need to take a station break. It's 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
You see a plan of that.
Boss FM 100 on your dial. Keep listening.
Nothing is impossible for God is a deliverance ministry dedicated to the preaching of the gospel and the healing of the sick. Here on Best 100 FM, Sundays at 12:30 to 1 with Reverend Neville Hutton Pastor. Your life will never be the same. Pray for the prayers and receive God's deliverance ministry. This program is sponsored by PJ Distributor at the corner of Main Street, Santa Cruz and Market Street. For prayer, call 828-4413. Luke 1:37, Jeremiah 32:17 said, nothing is impossible for God.
God bless you, employees. Not sure how to take your career to the next level? Not to worry. The Excelsior Community College has a program just for you. Enroll in one of our programs today and take advantage of our flexible classes, affordable fees, and overseas to travel opportunities. WhatsApp us today at 876-536-4765. Excelsior Community College, transforming lives, nurturing global citizens.
Ew, baby, you sick? Drink this.
Strong back tonic wine. But baby, you look like you want to sort out.
You think that's all Trangback good for? This delicious tonic wine has natural ingredients like Busy, Medina, Moringa, and more to strengthen your body so you can fight off anything, including viruses. Wait, don't like you, catch. Available island-wide, all foreign. Order at 749-1286 option 1 or IG Trangback TW. Trangback.
Straighten your back for make that. For a better choice in all your electrical supplies. A, authorized 3M dealer and better brand names. B, better service including free island-wide delivery. C, all major credit and debit cards accepted. It's ABC Electrical Sales. Shop number 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10. Open Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We make your electrical jobs as easy as ABC. Call 754-3825-8 or fax 754-3659. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice.
Do you need reliable health care? We have it. Yes, we do. Great George Street Pharmacy. Shop number 897 Great George Street, Savannah, Lamar, Westmoreland. Opening hours, Mondays to Saturdays, 8:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Call us at 876-603-7372 or WhatsApp us at 876-205-0499. Yes, we have reliable health care for you at Great George Street Pharmacy, Savannah, Lamar.
Fearless and love more, 'cause you open up the door.
Live, camera, volume. Live it up Fridays on Best 100 FM. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with I, Ibilion, each and every Friday, giving you the better vibes heard everywhere.
What should a taxi service do for you? On-time taxi service is more than just a ride to the other side of town. They offer clean and spacious vehicles, reliable service, and promise to always look out for their customers. They'll come when you call and take you where you want to go on time.
From anywhere at all, you can call us on 926-386.
We are something special on the road.
One and drive. Bossy. How do I take taxi start?
John, I want to tell you, say, 2 months now, my transmission mash up, and me check everybody and can't hear nothing positive.
Yeah, hear me? Yeah, wait all that time I shop you and never call the experts. Winters Auto have them. Them have over 35 years of experience and them diagnose your problem and get back your transmission brand new. For them service excellent and efficient. Trust me, man. Yeah, hear me? Call them at 929-7040. Or go to them at 106 Maxfield Avenue, Kingston 13 and talk directly to the boss. Just tell them I'm me, send you.
Wow, you big star. Yeah, man, respect my boss.
Try calling, cause trust me.
What a relief.
Veteran Printers for all your printing needs. We specialize in calendars, flyers, brochures, and more. Call us today at 968-7506. That's 968-7506. Or visit us at 4 East Bloomsbury Road, off Hackett Park Road. Veteran Printers, your best choice in printing.
The Morning Connection is not your usual talk show. We aim to stimulate discussion and chart new paths to self-empowerment. So please join us, Minette and Percy, on The Morning Connection, Mondays to Thursdays, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Best 100 FM.
It's good, it's better, but nothing beats.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for holding. Lady Love, you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Thank you so much. Right, so you were asking now, why are we importing so many things?
Yes, and the competition out there is so narrow, you know. Because like people buying school bags for children and adults so that they can afford from China and those things. And in less than 2 weeks, the things spoil and decide to tear off. And, you know, and these things, I saw some pants that they make.
Quality.
The shortcut the pants, them. The pocket, you can hardly, when you put your hand in, more than half of your hand is out. I don't understand. We don't have anybody who examine these things. Who, when they're coming in, what about the Bureau of Standards? Are they working still? What is happening?
Interesting. So you're querying the quality of stuff that is being imported, and is there any real standard, which is what the Bureau of Standard is there for. Because one of their concern, you go into a place and everything is in Spanish. You must never happen to you.
Yes, there are different places that carry the responsibility for receiving complaints if citizens have a problem. But I don't think the Bureau of Standards is set up to regulate and to inspect standards for clothing and school bags and so on. The truth of the matter is, in a society where people are free to shop and to purchase as they see fit from local and foreign sources, we could hardly expect the government to eyeball every piece of thing that crosses the border. We still have a responsibility to monitor what we are getting, take action against those who give us garbage, and there should be a desire to produce things locally. You ask why we import so many things. We're importing so many things because they're not being produced locally at either the price or the pace in quantities that are required. I see some things you can buy from China for, like, when they come to Jamaica, they cost $100. You understand that the unit cost to produce those things must be like 1 cent.
Put their markup.
They put their absolutely. So the countries that are doing mass production, places China, some things we get Mexico, Vietnam. Those countries are doing it and selling it at prices that if you try to produce the same thing locally, nobody would even look at your thing. Now, where government comes in, government can decide that we're not permitting certain things to be imported without it attracting some kind of penalty or cost, that duty that bring it in closer
to WTO.
But then, and if you say you want to ignore WTO, you become unattractive for some other things that you want.
Yeah.
So you see,
it's a 22 situation.
How I look at it, Lady Love, how I look at it, I'm going to just share my philosophy on how I go about it. I have formed a conscientious position concerning the importation of seafood. Certain things that our local fishermen ought to be doing. And I look for the labels that don't use local things, and I don't spend my money on it, even if it costs me more. I don't even want to know how much I lose or save. I take a conscientious position. I buy chickens from farmers in my community who raise chicken in their backyard and process and package it. I call my mother, makes an order for me, and whatever I need to do, it costs me probably twice as much, because by the time I put gas in the car and travel down to St. Anne, and I might pay $9,000 for 50 pounds of chicken, but I paid $10,000 for gas. But it's a conscientious decision that I make. I decide that somebody's going to make my son's school shirt, school pants, whatever it is. I don't care if I can get $2,000. These are the things that we have to, from our heart position, take a decision that we are supporting this, we're not into that. Even my child knows. I have to be telling my son now that it's not everything that comes from China bad. Because from him born, he hear me making statements about quality and testing things and showing that you go for quality every time, because it will serve you longer, and therefore it justifies the additional expenditure. I don't know how you feel about it. Do you make that effort? You make that effort in your spend?
Well, my children came up with a name brand. A name brand is me, make them.
I love it. I love it. Really love it.
I'm not as crafty as you are. Well, we have the same principle. No, whatever I can, so if I can support local artisans in what they're doing, that's what I do. I don't even use, I use dried herbs or fresh herbs from the marketplace. That's me. Don't try to tell me about the excellence of the Maggi this and the noodle that and various things. As much as I can, it is a short distance between the earth that it come out of and my pot. And those are personal convictions that I've had for a long time, and I practice it. More of us need to do that. When you do that now, you will hunt out, seek out, find the things, and you will be supporting local industries that require it.
Yeah, there's a lady that used to make brassiere in the market, because I don't wear those spongy brassiere and them something there.
Okay.
And she died.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
And there's nobody else doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know? Time passed, what used to happen, somebody making something to come, you come learn it too.
Right, so you pass on the knowledge. Yeah. Well, necessity will bring back some of those ways.
All right,
my love.
Again, so thanks for calling, lady
We
love.
have another caller, and they were waiting for a while. So thank you, my dear.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Another caller.
Good morning, sir. Ma'am. Welcome to the Morning Connection.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Cruz. How are you today?
Good. A little sunshine peeping out through the cloud, but not that much.
Well,
I have any yesterday.
You had rain whole of yesterday, or?
Not a lot. It's just dew, not hard.
It's drizzling. Okay. What's on your mind today?
It's Miss Minute.
Yes, sir.
I see you're trying to give some sympathy on that lady.
Who?
That was involved with the garbage, that she should be charged. And she should be charged with discarding the $8 million car.
Well, the recommendation has moved for her to be charged.
The charge could be up to 2 years. I swear I heard that on the news.
You mean the penalty, the sentence?
And she could have got for 2 years?
So that's
yes, I heard that.
That would be a felony.
It can be up to a 2-year prison sentence.
Wow.
So if that is included, then she should never be an MP until that court finish.
Well, she has resigned.
I know.
So it's not debatable as to whether she should continue, because she has taken a position. The question is the response of her constituency. Did she consult with them? Why are they out in the streets?
I think it's a Prime Minister asked her to go. Just like that.
Okay, so then you would be answering one of my questions. Is she speaking to, are the protesters speaking to her or to the hand behind her that they felt pushed? And your vote is that they feel that she was pushed, and they're signaling to the Prime Minister that it won't go down lightly when you come to give us somebody else.
Miss Minute.
Yes.
Those people should never be on the street knowing what that woman did. Not the first time that I know of, but the second time.
And it looked like a fair number of persons are on the street. Have you seen how the Americans are loving up Mr. Trump despite the many counts of the indictments against him? People don't make measurements like that, Mr. Cruz. You know that.
Miss Minute.
Yes.
I would never vote for Trump.
No, we're not talking about you now, we're talking about the people who are on the street.
Hold on, we hear my point. I would never vote for Trump. But I see that man as one of the cleanest president America ever have. Trust me.
Oh, good.
Why you say that?
Oh, we don't want to hear why you said that. No, but that being so, you understand that the appearance or the conduct of a person has little to do with how their supporters feel about them.
Yes.
So you said people shouldn't be out on the street, and I'm saying because of what they know concerning her conduct, and I'm saying the two have no connection, and you just justified what I said by using Trump as an example.
Yes,
you yourself feel good about him.
I wouldn't be on the street.
Yeah, well, you didn't even go to your party's conference.
For current Spencer, I would be against him once I know he did what he did. Right. Even though some people are saying, I know him are the mastermind of Paul. But if you go a man or him a mastermind, then it.
Yeah, but we understand that you didn't even go to your party conference, so you are not the standard by which many would be judged.
No, not because I don't go to the party.
No, you say you wouldn't be on the streets for or against.
I play a major role in a lot of people who jump up on that truck. Trust me.
So you're highlighting another thing now, that the quality of support that people give is not always the obvious that you see out there on the street. So you note it because it has happened, but you don't let it become such a huge factor in your planning or your thought process, because you know it could mean one of several things.
What I'm saying, when somebody is wrong, they should be counted.
That must be help. Yeah, right. Okay, I agree with you.
That's why I said some people should not have the privilege to vote because they don't have any sense.
Okay.
And conscience. They don't have any conscience. Like that lady.
So does that mean that you feel okay for when people couldn't vote because of the color of their skin?
No, that is different.
How is it different? It's equally absurd. You make a judgment that a man no have the sense to vote, and another man make a judgment that the color that man meaning no have the sense to vote.
So you put it in the same category?
Of course it's in the same category. I'm discouraging you from holding those kinds of absolute positions that have no foundation in logic or reality. Tell me, yes, go ahead.
Would you give Muslims a piece of cheese to put up for you?
Why would I?
Don't touch it.
But why would I need? Why would I need to do that?
Just ask.
Because they don't eat it.
No, but why would I need to give my cheese to somebody who's gonna eat it? What could cause?
I know somebody. I'm Muslim with it.
Or let's put it this way. I bait the trap with cheese. So it depends on what I want to do. I bait it with cheese because I know he'll eat it.
Give him to put up. Give him. I said, don't eat the cheese.
All right. Tell me what you're talking about, because you know that your logic not gonna coincide with my reasoning. What are you talking about?
Because
No, because you don't want a discussion. You only want to state your position, and I want a discussion. So what is of concern to you? You're saying what? Somebody who has the propensity to do what should never be trusted with what? Are we still talking politics?
That's what I'm saying. Somebody that is a crook, you cannot trust them. you cannot trust them at no time at all. And them ever say I let God never change his path.
Yeah, but you have made a judgment which is not, I won't take it any further because we will end up slandering somebody. We're not talking about any crooks here. There are no convicted persons who have been judged in the way that we hold to be credible of certain activities. Many accusations are leveled against individuals without foundation. I can testify to that. I've been called on.
Testify to that.
So we don't. So we don't do it.
To that.
Yeah, so we don't do it. We don't say because someone has been accused of this or there's word in the street about that. We don't use that to predetermine their character.
She did not deny about the car. She only said she can't recall or she can't remember. Come on, you don't remember one big old thing?
Yeah, but that don't make you a crook. That don't make you a crook. You use words like crook. We can't go that far in our language.
What you call it? White collar crime or blue collar?
No, let me tell you, it's a breach of a regulation that has been put in place for a special purpose. And when you file your taxes, you're required to say certain things. If you don't, because you forgot or you're trying to be smart about it, it will make you into a crook. It makes you non-compliant for sure.
One last thing. Yes. Is that worse than the man when you pick the aki? Which one worse?
Is what worse?
The non-compliance or the man?
The man will go pick the aki, breaking the law. So what? Breaking law. Them say the man will go pick the aki, breaking law. The man get.
And he was convicted.
How long him get passed?
So we will know if it's worse when she's charged and tried, and there's a result, and you can say this conviction, that conviction. How do they match up? How much time he got? How much time? And you can compare them. At the moment, you're not comparing apples with akis.
Miss Minute, where the law said in the books where she wrong, where she guilty.
Yes.
You don't need no court to know say she guilty. It only left to them if them are going to make she get charged. Simple as that.
All
right then.
I'll take that. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Connection.
Yeah, morning.
Good morning, Wayne.
Yeah, something that just come to my mind. I never remember to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it today now. One time I listened to BBC, and like them go on a, what they call it, survey, and like them ask the athlete, suppose you have a drugs that they would take, and to surely make them win the Olympic, but it's like cannot be dictated, tell them I take drugs, but just surely when them take it, they would win the Olympic.
And most of them said they would take it. I remember the story.
Yeah, but you remember?
Yes.
All right, but after that 3 months, they would die. Most people say them not take it,
Yes. Yes, I remember the survey.
Yeah, I said to myself, whoa, how are the people that mind there? What about fame? What about fame? Did I give your life for that?
Yeah. I remember the survey, yeah. I remember the survey well, yeah.
So, to me, we live in a world with some really dunce.
You call them dunce because of that?
They want to do, is it that foolish?
It's foolish.
And stupid?
Yes.
So not according to the description of the word dunce. Yeah. They are dunce.
Yeah, but you see?
It's different priorities.
It's different priorities that people have. And some people in it for short term, some people taking the long term view of what they're doing. But then you see it also being reflected in terms of what some people, or what value people put on their life. That's what it is about in a way. What value people put on their lives. Because they talk about the young man, them say, they know if they continue in this path, scamming or whatever, they sure because them say, well, we did somehow, so might as well. That's their response, and this is real conversation. This is not made up conversation.
So, all right. Me ask, maybe on the topic of dunce today, So, as me ask, if you have intellectual dunce, no never ask. You have people that say illiterate but wise.
Literacy meaning reading and writing, but in terms of them very wise. That's correct.
Wisdom is from God.
Yeah.
So that means, say give the word dunce or intellectual, you have to judge that by the person real action.
Correct.
You know, because people can go to school and pass big grades and still come do a lot of foolish things. As well as people go to school and like them not learn.